With a determined look, he donned his helmet. Facing the relentless artillery fire, he chose not to retreat but instead charged forward. This battle inflicted heavy casualties on the American army. Over 1,000 men were responsible for the attack, but only 32 survived. However, no one anticipated that Doss was still on the battlefield, saving the remaining soldiers. As he was dragging a wounded soldier toward the edge of a cliff, the wounded man on the ground suddenly grabbed his trouser leg. Doss immediately took out a bandage and staunchly controlled the bleeding.
I'm coming back!
It seemed like a simple remark, but for the soldier abandoned on the battlefield, it represented hope for survival. Soon, Doss dragged the wounded man to the cliffs of Hacksaw Ridge. But how to get the wounded soldier down this 120-meter cliff became another major problem. While pondering, he noticed a rope nearby. He quickly pulled it out and, using the method his teammates had taught him, tied it into a noose. He then tied the noose around the wounded soldier and pushed him down. Doss used a nearby wooden stake to absorb the force. Gritting his teeth, he slowly lowered the wounded soldier down the cliff. The soldiers below, observing this, thought it was a Japanese surprise attack. A nearby soldier intervened, saying they were his own men. But before they could carry the man away, another man was sent down from above. Upon hearing the news, the captain quickly sought out his superiors and asked them to. They called off the bombardment because there were still at least 100 people on Hacksaw Ridge waiting for rescue. Their superiors told them that reinforcements wouldn't arrive for at least a day and a half. Their only option now was to pray the wounded could survive. Doss, who had arrived, worked tirelessly to rescue the wounded. Suddenly, he realized the warships had stopped bombing, effectively eliminating his cover. The Japanese had already begun their sweep. He had to hurry and rescue as many wounded as possible before the Japanese swept through. But when he returned, he happened to see the Japanese finishing off the surviving soldiers. Doss, he suppressed his anger and lowered his body. Just as he was about to despair, he suddenly heard a cry for help from afar. Seeing it was his teammate, Doss didn't hesitate and approached. He then buried his teammate's exposed body in the sand. As the Japanese approached, he quickly pulled a corpse onto himself, attempting to deceive the Japanese by feigning death. But as the Japanese soldiers passed by, one of them suddenly stopped. The two men were so nervous that they couldn't breathe. The Japanese soldier turned around and kicked the body on top of Doss, then raised his bayonet and stabbed it fiercely.